Good evening, everyone. Today is the 4th year anniversary of Monday Prayer Group, MPG. So, palakpakan natin ang ito. I thought they were going to survive. I thought they won't last. But with the grace of God, they're still here, meaning they're doing something right. And that's the good news. In my introduction, I said earlier that the Pope forgot something during the World Youth Day, the culmination in Rio de Janeiro. And it was so obvious that when he grabbed the microphone, he said, I forgot something. Please pray for me. He believes in the power of prayer. We also believe in the power of prayer. That's why you're here. You all believe that. But I'll tell you some stories. These stories happened to our community. You all know that our community now live in Mindoro, Occidental Mindoro, an island of Iling. Something happened last February. I know it took place, I know it happened, but it was only last week, when I stayed there for a week, that I found out the whole story about these two seminarians who were drifted away, they were drowned. They were doing the canoeing, boating, and then all of a sudden, there was this change of weather and the strong wind swiped them away close to Palawan. They were lost for more than 5 hours. And I will never forget the time that Father Jeff called me and he said, Fernando, there's a tragedy taking place here right now. He said, what do you mean? The two seminarians are not here. They're nowhere to be found. They were in the boat, a small boat, and they're gone. Oh my God, I said, in 2 days, my birthday is coming, I have a burst. There's so many parties going on, and here you go. But I closed my eyes, and all of a sudden I told Father Jeff, expose the Blessed Sacrament, and be on your knees and call all the play people, especially the children. And that's what they did. And after 30 minutes, Father Jeff called, oh Fernando, don't worry, they found them already. And today I found out, and I tell you the story because I found out yesterday the whole story of what took place to these two seminarians. These two seminarians apparently were drifted away, stayed for more than 5 hours in the middle of the open sea. For 5 hours, and their small boat sunk. You know what happened? While they were in the boat under the water, there were 2 dolphins going around them. All the whole time, they were waiting for the rescue. And all of a sudden, one of the dolphins left. You know what the dolphin did? Called the attention of the fisherman. For some reason, this fisherman had this sense for some inspiration, follow that dolphin. And the fishermen followed the dolphin and they found the two seminarians. So the question there is, how did this fisherman know that what the dolphin is thinking? Prayer. The time I asked them to pray was the time that this fisherman thought of, why I think there is this dolphin calling us to follow because they know, he knows or she knows where is this seminarians. True enough. Seminarians were there. Isn't that powerful? Power of prayer. And today, there was this man. He left today. He came all the way from Vienna. His name is Bernard and he's a nurse. He already shared this television. During the meningitis outbreak, he contracted one. He was one of the victims of this meningitis outbreak in Europe 3 years ago. I used to play tennis with him because I have relatives in Vienna and I go there every year. And for some reason, he did not pay attention to all the symptoms. He thought it was just an ordinary flu until he can no longer bear the pain. So he went to the hospital and the doctor was so upset. He said, "You are positive for this meningitis, for this virus, and it's too late. It's all over your body." There was swelling. He was close to coma. And the doctor said, after taking the fluid from his spine, it's positive. The doctor asked the permission of the family, and Bernard, his name, "Can I euthanize you because you can no longer bear the pain?" And he agreed. And they called the family. They were already given him 1 hour to leave. And before he closed his eyes, according to him, he said, "My wish is that I will meet Father Suarez in my dream and bring Jesus here." And he closed his eyes. True enough, when he closed his eyes, he dreamt about me. And on his dream, I prayed over him. And when I left, he saw Jesus. Then he woke up. And the doctor came for him to be embalmed. And the doctor was shocked. "Why, you're still alive?" And he said, "I don't know, I feel good." So he tried to take another test for meningitis. No trace of meningitis. He is well. Because we have this God alive right now. Very much alive and involved in our life. Please do not give up in your prayer life. So this Monday prayer, that's a good. I hope you're not only praying on Monday. Because it's Monday prayer group. But I hope this Monday will lead you to pray more. Because our calling is to pray. I hope you feel good when you're praying. I hope you know that in prayer, this is where you will draw your strength. Sa Tagalog, ito ang dapat hinuhugutan nyo ng lakas. I hope in prayer, upon experiencing the joy of prayer, you will find happiness and direction. And upon receiving the consolation and the joy in prayer, I hope you pray more. I hope you pray more. Why I'm saying that we need to pray more? Because less and less people are praying right now. Less and less people have time to pray. We are too busy. We're living in the very busy world. We are so preoccupied. We are too busy. We are too noisy. It is so hard for us to concentrate. Somehow it's so difficult for us to find time. I remember Mother Teresa was asked one time, "Oh, Mother Teresa, I cannot pray. I'm young. I'm a businessman. I'm busy." And you know what Mother Teresa said? "Please pray before you become busy." And you know what I found out in life? I hope you're able to reach this kind of stage in life that, Pope Francis today said, "Please do not be afraid to be happy." What is that mean? Please do not be afraid to be happy. And in order for us to find this happiness, it is only in prayer. So this Monday prayer group will last if you pray not only on Monday. That's my advice to all of you. I hope you're not only praying on Monday. And in doing so, because there are so many benefits of this kind of group, I hope it's not become exclusive. You know, there is this tendency for the group to become exclusive. If you're not MPE, well, sorry, you're not belonging. Prayers includes everybody. Prayer is so inclusive in such a way that when we are praying, we remember our brothers and sisters who cannot pray. Karamihan po sa ating mga paladasal, ipinagdarasal ang mga taong hindi nagdarasal. Yung mga asawa na hindi napunta ng simbahan, mga anak na wala dito. And then that is the very power of prayer. We involve everybody and it's become a communal, and that's why it is so powerful. I said as well in my introduction that Mass is the highest form of prayer. Do you know why most of the time, especially Catholics, there is this tendency that we have no energy while we are in the church and while we are praying or while we are hearing Mass. It tends to be very mechanical. This is the crisis right now. This is the challenge of the church, and how we keep your attention focused on the Lord. And while you're in the church, you're not falling asleep. And while you're going to church, you will not say, oh, it's boring. Or when you're going to church, you will say, oh, I don't want to go there. It's a waste of time. It is so sad what is happening right now in our own church. Even though we know, even though we believe, it is the teachings of the church that the Mass is the highest form of prayer, the source and summit of our spiritual life, and yet less and less people are going to church. You know why? Because for those who will encounter God in this particular gathering, in this Eucharistic celebration, you will become powerful. Prayer is so powerful. You will gain power. This will change your life. This will give you hope. This will give you peace. This will remove the anger in your heart. This will somehow relinquish the dryness that is in you. Oh, I have this spiritual dryness. Oh, I have this messy married life. Oh, I have this crazy husband. Sometimes you have so many complaints in the world. But it is only in prayer that you will find hope. Why? Because God is the source of all hope. That's why it is the part of the theological virtues. Hope is a gift from God. No one can give you hope, only God, only your faith. It is only while you're praying that you can find hope. And when you have this hope, you will not be desperate. You know, I love almost every Sunday they've been inviting me to wedding. I always suggest this particular reading. Blessed are the men who will marry the wife who's not nagger, because it will double your age. So alam nyo na, pag nabalo agad kayo. Sabi ko sa sarili ko, mabuti na lang wala akong asawa. I'm free from that. kind of worries. But I want you to find peace. I want you to find peace. I hope and I think Pope Francis said not to be afraid to be happy, because if you are happy, you will become creative. But if you are always angry, if you're always miserable, you will become destructive. One time, I asked myself, what do I prefer? Ano ang pipiliin ko? To be always right or to be always happy? Kayo? Happy. Mabuti naman. Because that's why and how God created us. Part of His reason why God created us in order for us to be happy being with Him. But most of us, we wasted our energy in proving that we are right and others are wrong. Lalo na sa mag-asawa, ang laging pinagtatalunan ay kung sino ang tama at kung sino ang mali. But I'm telling you, try this. Try to admit that sometimes others are right and you are wrong. Before the Mass, before we continue the celebration, I ask you to ask the Lord for forgiveness. Meaning to say, it is unfair that we are always right. It is not true at all. Hindi totoo na ikaw ay laging tama. But most of the time, we are wasting our energy in proving that we are right. Try this. Pag sinabi mo sa asawa mo, pag sinabi mo sa kaibigan mo, o sa kapwa mo, alam mo tama ka, mali. You gain his or her trust. You gain his or her confidence. But, pag lagi mong sinabi na siya ay mali, hindi ka niya pagtitiwalaan. Wala siyang tiwala sa iyo. Sa harap mo lang, akala mo, naniniwala siya. But it is not a guarantee that you gain his or her trust. Hindi pinagtitiwalaan ang taong nag-iisip na siya ay laging tama. Mawawala ang kaibigan mo. Hindi ka magiging masaya. That's why I ask you, which do you prepare to be always right and to be always happy? And you said, I prepare to be always happy. And part of being happy is to admit that sometimes we are wrong. Sometimes we are wrong. Why? Because we are not perfect. Because we are only God creatures. Just by the definition, creature and creator. Creator is the only one that's perfect. Being a creature by nature, you are imperfect. We are imperfect. So huwag niyong sayangin ang oras, lakas. Please do not waste your time and energy to prove that you are always right. And I'm telling you, that will lead you to happiness and hopefully to holiness, because this will bring you to inner peace. Peace that you all deserve. Amen. Please stand right now.